Due to a lack of options, Caleb agrees to collaborate with aspiring illustrator Harper to finish his children's book. As they try to understand each other creatively, sparks fly during Christmas time. Harper loves Christmas and everything about it. She plans to spend the holidays with her sister Liz, who is still stuck at work. Liz needs to wrap up some work as a book editor and promises to meet Harper in 15 minutes. Just then, Liz gets another call from an author she works with, Caleb. His third illustrator has just quit, and Liz can't match him with anyone else so close to Christmas. His manuscript is bound to get canceled if he doesn't finish it by Christmas Eve. Meanwhile, Harper is all set to walk into Liz's office. Caleb is also right under her office and wants to discuss this with Liz. Harper can sense the desperation in Caleb to arrive at his destination. She asks him to relax and starts discussing how much she loves Christmas. Before they get off the elevator on the same floor, she even gifts him an illustration of 2 turtle doves. Harper overhears Liz discussing Caleb's book in her office. He's desperate to find any illustrator so close to Christmas. Caleb has a reputation for being difficult, which he is well aware of. Despite that, he keeps making a case for why Liz should match him with someone if the deadline can't be extended. Harper offers to be Caleb's illustrator, even if it means they have to cancel their trip. Since their parents are in Paris, she knows this Christmas will be different anyway. Harper hasn't published any book yet, which is why she is eager to make her dreams come true. Harper is a kindergarten teacher now, but Liz lists out all the temporary ventures she has undertaken before. Harper assures her that Caleb's book will be nothing like her projects of the past. She convinces Liz that she'll be very committed to this job. Caleb seems apprehensive about Harper illustrating his book when she doesn't have any prior experience. After firing 3 artists, he also knows that he doesn't have many options. When he learns that Harper is motivated and Liz will be there with them throughout, he agrees to this collaboration. The following morning, Harper and Liz arrive in Steel Ridge to work at Caleb's cabin over the week. Harper wants to explore the town, till she's reminded that Caleb likes things to be particular. Liz thinks it has something to do with Caleb's former illustrating partner, Pete. Caleb and Pete used to keep writing bestsellers till they fell out a year ago. No one knows what happened, but Pete became successful after that, and Caleb's last book was a failure. Harper understands that Caleb needs a win, and is willing to do her best to get her work published too. She still can't tolerate a week without Christmas, and buys a tree for the cabin. Caleb asks her to keep it outside, because he already has one. Even if he's not as verbal about it, he apparently loves Christmas, as much as Harper does. She's relieved because the week with him doesn't sound so bad. Liz thinks pointing this out was rude to her, and hopes Harper can watch her tongue for a successful collaboration. Harper asks Liz to take a break if she wants them to bond. She knows Liz will keep pointing out her slip-ups if she's around. Liz also believes that taking a break would help her be less burned out. Harper informs Caleb about Liz's plan to find a home for the spare tree. After learning this, Caleb asks his neighbor Owen to help Liz with it. When Caleb asks Harper for her opinion on his manuscript, she feels flattered. Caleb knows his work is not polished and is afraid of the answer. When he finally lets her talk, Harper admits that she loves the concept of a cute cloud, learning to express his feelings. Nonetheless, she thinks the cloud doesn't seem very playful, because he needs a friend to talk to. Caleb seems confused, because this changes the angle of his story. Harper has noticed with her kindergarten students that they seem more engaged when different characters talk to each other. She admits she won't read out his serious story to the kids. Caleb knows she has a point as a teacher, especially because Liz also suggested the same thing. He tries to think of a solution, but Harper brings him to the kitchen and starts making Christmas cookies. She wants him to get out of his head and distract himself. She assures him that connecting with something else will help with the creative process. He helps her with the cookies but gets back to writing. Harper tries one when it's hot, because it's only Christmas when she burns her tongue. While Caleb admires her spirit, Harper starts sketching and keeps getting ideas. She wants to add more Christmas to their story and take inspiration from what's around them. She suggests that Cloudy's emotions could create snow instead of rain in the book. She wants to show children sledding on this snow, so Cloudy understands that it's good to express feelings. Caleb loves the idea and thinks it might improve his book. After a while, Owen and Liz return from their walk around town. Caleb praises Harper's ideas and offers to show Liz their changes. Liz is impressed about Harper giving her input and suggests that she should finish her graphic novel too. Once Caleb's book is published, it will be the perfect time for Harper to capitalize on her name. Harper agrees to work on it afterward, but doesn't want Liz to see it yet. They drop by Owen's Bistro, which organizes activities like ornament making and Christmas Carol karaoke. Harper wants Caleb to try out the festivities so he can use his imagination more. While serving them, Owen asks Liz out for a hike the next day. Harper loves that Liz is taking a break from work. After dinner, she decides to walk around downtown. The next morning, Harper suggests doing mixed media illustrations for their book. She wants to use pencils, watercolors, and cartoons to tell their story in a better way. Caleb is worried that changing his medium would throw off his readers. When she points out that he doesn't take risks because of Pete, Caleb is more determined to refuse changes to the theme. They continue working, but Caleb soon finds Harper playing outside in the snow. She feels too confined inside and convinces Caleb to be a little playful too. Harper thinks watching the town during Christmas can help them get elements to improve the story. Owen informs Caleb that he ordered food for the shelter dinner planned on Christmas Eve. Harper is impressed when she learns Caleb has been organizing this dinner for years. To seek more inspiration, Harper takes Caleb and Liz to a bookstore, where Caleb used to do his readings. He thanks Liz for supporting his work, but she thinks Harper deserves the credit for pushing to be his illustrator. They discuss how enthusiastic Harper always is. They realize she's missing, and find her reading out loud one of Caleb's books to some children. When a little girl teases Caleb about his pirate accent, he finally laughs. His expression suddenly changes when he spots a poster about Pete's book reading. He insists they need to stop relaxing and start working immediately. Harper points out how ironic it is that, unlike the cloud in his book, he doesn't know how to express himself. Liz asks Harper to go easy on Caleb because he's not like her. She knows Caleb is a very loyal person, and something drastic must have happened with Pete to make things so intense. After that, Harper decides to clear her head with a walk. As she draws, a man praises her work and thinks she's very talented. She feels grateful but doesn't realize that he is Pete. Caleb and Harper apologize to each other about what happened in the bookstore. He admits that he's trying to prove he can be successful without Pete. He finally feels good about his story, since Harper has made him see it clearly. He wants to collaborate equally with her and agrees to consider her ideas. He's not even opposed to taking part in the town's Christmas activities if she thinks it will help him. Before he knows it, they're arguing about how much glitter to use in an ornament. Harper asks Owen and Liz to join them, but they're excited about picking out a wreath together. Harper and Caleb seem excited about the possibility of a Christmas romance between Owen and Liz. Harper shows him the sketch she stayed up all night to work on. She has made samples to prove that mixed media illustrations can work for them. When Caleb notices how good the different moods of the cloud look in different mediums, he loves it. He's still worried about it being different from his previous work. Harper points out that his previous signature style of only cartoons was when he was working with Pete. It makes sense that he should do something different with her and allow her to go ahead with it. For the next Christmas activity, Harper convinces them all to make a snowman. While helping Caleb with the dishes, she sprays foam on him and thinks he looks like their cloud. It's soon time to get back to work because they're finally putting the images and text together. They show their work to Liz, who loves how they have incorporated mixed media with the story. Harper suggests getting dinner, but Liz already has date plans with Owen. When she leaves, Caleb offers to cook dinner for Harper at his place in a few hours. As Caleb starts preparing, Harper comes across a stunning date dress in a store. Caleb welcomes her in and admits that her Christmas spirit is rubbing off on him. When he takes her coat, he thinks she looks gorgeous in the dress. Before dinner, Harper admires how the moonlight is making the snow look blue. She learns that watching this is Caleb's favorite Christmas tradition. Harper's favorite tradition is on Christmas mornings before they exchange gifts. As they all sit in their pajamas, her dad brings cocoa for everyone, while her mom lays out cinnamon buns. As they eat, he's curious about why she hasn't shown her graphic novel to Liz yet. Harper admits she doesn't show her work till it's ready because she has a tendency to quit things. She recalls all of her failed ventures. She loves teaching, but has always wanted to do something creative. Liz has supported her so much that she's scared of showing her anything that's not perfect. Harper knows her graphic novel is something she won't ever quit. She just spends time on other ventures because failing at them won't be as bad as failing at her dream job. Caleb understands that because he has been terrified of working without Pete. She gifts him a cloud ornament she came across recently. When things get intense, they realize it's time to call it a night. After participating in Christmas karaoke, Harper tries to make Caleb sing after her. His playful mood is ruined instantly when Pete walks in. He recognizes Harper and assumes she must be working on Caleb's next book. When he makes a comment about Caleb's failed book, he walks out. Harper explains to Caleb that she didn't know who Pete was when she met him. Caleb feels terrible for overreacting when he wasn't expecting to run into Pete. They used to be best friends before they worked together. They had a great idea for a children's book years ago, which led to them becoming bestsellers. One day, Caleb pitched an idea to Pete that he really loved. When he calls Liz to brief her about the idea, he learns that Pete has ended their partnership. Pete never discussed anything with Caleb, but his first successful book alone was based on Caleb's idea. The betrayal hurt Caleb more than the fact that Pete had stolen his idea. Since then, he has had a hard time trusting anyone. He thanks Harper for opening him up to new possibilities and inspiring him. This inspires Harper to work on something the whole night. She's excited to show it to Caleb the next morning, but Liz assumes she is flaking out on her graphic novel for something new. Harper knows she needs to pause the graphic novel because she has something much better. As Harper continues working on her sketches, Pete finds her on the bench again. He offers to submit her work to his editor when he learns that Caleb hasn't seen these designs. He gives her his card and suggests she might even edit his next book. He doesn't illustrate his own books anymore because he has too many coming out. Harper immediately turns down his offer and returns his card. While trying to find Harper, Caleb runs into Pete. When Pete shares that he's thinking of submitting Harper's work to his editor, Caleb feels betrayed. Pete even suggests that Harper might illustrate his next book. Caleb finally asks if their friendship means anything to him. Pete apologizes for not discussing things with him. He always felt overshadowed by Caleb being the brilliant one, so he wanted to do something on his own. Caleb doesn't understand how to react to that, but wishes him luck for his next book. Caleb doesn't let Harper talk when he finds her outside his cabin. He assumes she accepted Pete's offer and thinks that will give her career a great boost. He's also offended that she made him the star of her new book and didn't mention it. He doesn't care for explanations and decides he doesn't want to finish their cloud book. That night, Owen learns that Caleb has retreated to a place without cell service. Liz feels bad for assuming Harper is flaking out when she has done so much for Caleb. Harper is worried about finishing the book because she knows how much the kids will love it. She refuses to let Caleb miss out on such a great opportunity. Liz doesn't think it's possible because Caleb hasn't made changes to the notes she gave him. Even the illustrations are incomplete. That night, Harper asks Liz to come to her room with all the notes. She shows Liz the other book she has been working on to assert how serious she is. Harper still makes the cloud book her priority and stays up all night to illustrate it. She drops it off with Liz the next morning before leaving with her bags. Liz drops by Caleb's place to inform him that they can still meet the deadline. She shows him the finished cloud book and explains how Harper worked on it all night. She explains that Harper turned Pete's offer down immediately because she doesn't care about doing what others think is best for her career. She also shows him Harper's other manuscript and asks him to read the dedication. When Caleb reads about how much Harper has praised him, he looks all around for her. When he finally finds her, he apologizes for his ego. Harper doesn't want to take credit for all the work because she thinks he deserves to succeed. He suggests she should still take up Pete's offer to boost her career. Even then, Harper insists she can't work with someone she can't trust. This is when he finally admits how much he loves spending time with her. She also changes her mind about skipping town and kisses him.